Hey everyone, James Baek, and it's time for some more VGC 2015 battles. We're going to be using the same team with Heatran, Slowbro, Clefairy, Landers, Farian, Scrafty, and Raichu. We're going to find two battles and see how we do. Our first opponent today will be James from Arabia, 1618 rating, and we are going to see the team of Bisharp, Conkeldurr, Mamoswine, Landers, Farian, Mawile, and Thundurus Incarnate. Kind of interesting, we see two ground types and two steel types. No form of Trick Room, so don't have to worry about that. Of course, spread damage will be annoying, but he does have pretty much all physical attackers except for that Thundurus, excuse me. So I won't really have to worry about special attacks. Wondering who I want to lead, because I think the most viable lead is Raichu and Slowbro, since Raichu and Slowbro actually wreck quite a bit of this team together. I'll bring Heatran because it checks the Bisharp, the Mawile, and I think I'll bring, who do I want to back? It's Clefairy. I don't want to bring Landers because that will... Landers isn't that bad of a call, but I feel like I'm going to leave it out. I think I'm going to go Clefairy or Scrafty. He has two steel types, so I'm kind of leaning toward Scrafty, but Conkeldurr and Mawile. You know what, I'm going to go Scrafty anyway. Just because Scrafty will provide me some useful Intimidate support, so if I can work my way around the Bisharp, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. So we'll see what James is going to lead with. Raichu and Slowbro will be my leads against my opponents, Mawile and Mamoswine, which is absolutely fine by me. Mawile is going to get the Intimidate off, not really mattering. And right here I can go for a Fake Out onto the Mamoswine and Calm Mind. He might protect with one of his Pokemon. Not really worried about a protect though. I kind of want to Fake Out the Mawile, but there's a chance Mawile protects, Mamoswine goes for Earthquake. So you know what, I'm just gonna Calm Mind and Fake Out. Looks like the Mawile is going to Mega Ball, so it probably went on the offensive this turn. And let's see. Okay, both Mega Evolutions are going to happen. So Mega Slowbro, its defense will increase significantly. Okay, none of them protected. So let's see what this Mawile goes for. To play rough into the Slowbro slot, which I'm fine with. Yeah, that doesn't even do half. As I'm going to get the Calm Mind up, which is absolutely ideal right now because Calm Mind is just amazing for me to set up. Right here, I think I'm going to switch Raichu into Scrafty to get the Intimidate support, and I'm going to slack off with my Slowbro just to gain some health back. And this really helps because ideally I should be able to survive a double attack from these Pokemon. And that's definitely huge if I can survive another turn of Slowbro and get a slack off. So gonna withdraw my Raichu, gonna get this Intimidate off with my Scrafty, which is going to be a big issue for the Mawile and the Mamoswine, and I don't have to worry about Bisharp right now, so that's great. As Mamoswine's gonna go for the Ice Shard into the Scrafty slot, which I am perfectly fine with. As we actually see the double target into the Scrafty. Wow. So I do get a slack off. But wow, my opponent just able to make the moves right there. Sorry, but my 3DS capture card disconnected. So now I'm going to bring out my Raichu. And I might as well go for another Calm Mind and a Fake Out. As I see no issues with that. As long as Slowbro's okay, As long as Slow Ro's okay, I should be good. He's actually going to withdraw his Mammal Swine, which is great. Going to go into Conkeldurr, which I am perfectly fine with. Oh, he's going to pull a double switch, switching out his Mawile too. Into his Bisharp. Okay. Because I'm going to get a Fake Out off onto this Bisharp, which isn't going to do much. But I do get a Calm Mind off, which is really, really nice, because now I'm at +2. What do I want to do now? I mean, the most logical play is Drain Punching the Raichu and going for a knockoff or something. So I think I'm going to Thunderbolt the Conkeldurr, because I want to save Heatran for later and Scald this Bisharp. Who's going to go for the Sucker Punch onto the Raichu slot. Which is fine, it's going to break my Focus Sash, but Raichu's not much of a big loss for me right now. Gonna get this Thunderbolt off onto the Conkeldurr, some chip damage, and that's probably a Saltless Conkeldurr as we see the Ice Punch into Raichu. So maybe predicting the Lander switch in, but I didn't bring Lander, so I brought Heatran into this game. As I'm gonna get this +2 Scald off onto this Bisharp, which is huge because Bisharp is the Pokemon I needed to target down. As Heatran's gonna come out from my side, as we're going to see who my opponent brought. Mawile, okay. So, in my mind, there's probably a Protect coming from the Mawile and the Fighting type move on to the Heatran. So I'm going to Side Shock the Conkeldurr and Substitute because I do not want to go for the Protect. Alternatively, he can also Sucker Punch my Slowbro, but I don't think that's worth it for him. I really don't see that happening. And getting rid of this Conkeldurr will be huge. Mawile is going to go for that Protect, so definitely something I expected, as Substitute's going to be set up from my Heatran. And these Drain Punch into the Substitute, which I'm fine with. He's going to recover health, break my sub, but to be honest, I just needed Heatran around for another turn. The Substitute's going to fade, and he is going to heal back a bit of HP, but should not be living a +2 Side Shock by any means. Side Shock going to connect with the Conkeldurr, and that will be a knockout. So now it's just Mawile and Mammal Swine versus my Slowbro and my Heatran. And this is really good for me since it's 2 physical attackers against a Mega Slowbro, plus the fact that his Mawile can't protect this turn. So right here, I'm going to protect with my Heatran and go for the Scald into the Mawile. I feel this is the safest play because Mammal Swine can't really go for Earthquake, so I would assume probably to Protect coming out from the Mammal Swine, or maybe it has some other trick up its sleeve, but I can definitely see the Mawile going for the attack. But Heatran is going to Protect. Let's see if Mammal Swine went for the Protect. No, it didn't. The Sucker Punch from the Mawile onto the Slowbro, and that's a lot of damage. He's actually going to Earthquake his own Mawile. Wow. Was not expecting that, as I'm going to get a Scald off onto his Mawile, which is huge because it knocks out the Mawile. However, I'm left in a pretty sticky situation where it's Heatran and Slowbro versus this Mammal Swine. Not much I can do against this, so I'm going to Heat Wave and Slack Off. That was a really, wow, risky play. Earthquake going to connect with my Pokemon, let's see. As Slowbro was actually able to hang on, I believe, and Heatran went down. Yes, Slowbro was able to live, and I get to Slack Off. The reason I went for Slack Off is because I'm not risking anything. I'm just going to go for another Slack Off, be on the safe side, because he's going to go for the Icicle Crash, so he's going to go for the flinches, and this is not going to be fun if he gets it. It doesn't do much, and I don't flinch, so I get to Slack Off again, and that should pretty much ensure the game. And maybe I should have went for the Scald because I thought he was Focus Sash. That's the reason I kept going for Slack Off, but I realized he took chip damage from something. As he's going to go for another Icicle Crash, he's really trying to get the flinches now. The Icicle Crash into the Slowbro, which isn't doing much, and the Scald is going to connect with the Mammal Swine, and that will be the game. So yeah, didn't expect him to Earthquake his own Maul, as that was the thing that was really the big threat to the Slowbro. But I guess my opponent had to make that, and since his Maul did live the Earthquake, I guess it was okay. But I don't know about Earthquaking yourself. But anyway, we are going to find a second battle and see how we do. Our second opponent today will be a 1673 player from Japan, and we are going to see the team of Kangaskhan, Bisharp, Landorus, Whimsicott, Gengar, and Azumarill, and this team looks tricky to deal with. There's Kangaskhan, which is probably a Mega, but then there's the Gengar, who's probably a Mega when paired with Whimsicott. And this could be a possible Perish Trap team. You can see Kangaskhan, Whimsicott, Gengar, and Azumarill, and Landorus, which are all Perish Trap Pokemon viable, so this is not a good matchup for my team who doesn't deal well against Perish Song. Just gonna look up something on my Slowbro because I do not remember Oblivious. Okay, it can't be taunted. Okay, so I think Landorus is pretty much the best viable lead I can have because... Or do I want to keep Landorus in the back? This team is going to be annoying to deal with. I think I'm going to lead Scrafty and Slowbro. We have Landorus, Varian, and Clefairy in the back. Or do I want Raichu in the back? No, I need Pokemon with Protect. Okay. The reason for this is because I'm really expecting this to be a Perish Song team, and if it isn't, well, but anyway, really, I think it is a Perish Trap team when you have all these Pokemon that are viable normally, but it's probably Perish Trap as we see the Gengar and Whimsicott lead. So, Encore Disable possibility as well, but I would imagine it's Perish Trap, as my Scrafty and Slowbro are going to lead. Which I am fine with, because right now I can pull a double switch, go into my Landers, switch out Slowbro, go into my Clefairy. This is what I normally do for Perish Song teams. Or Encore Disable. I double switch since most likely my opponent's going to go for a double Protect first turn, and if he ends up doing that, it just allows, well then again, one of the Gengar's Protect. If Whimsicott goes for Protect, his Gengar's Protect will fail. But then again, I can always U-turn onto the Whimsicott. So this shouldn't be too bad, especially since I'm playing very defensively right now. And he knows his Gengar is going to be key, so I'm wondering if he's going to have Encore Disable or Perish Song. We're probably going to see the Encore Disable. I mean the Perish Song, to be honest. Gonna bring out Double Switch. This does reveal all 4 of my Pokemon to my opponent. However, the logic behind this is I do not want to get Encore Disabled, and I do not want Perish Song. So the Gengar is going to Mega Evolve, and if it Perish Songs, that will be some issues. As we're going to see the Charm onto the Lander slot, and the Perish Song, yep. There's the Perish Song. Luckily my Landers can U-turn out of here, so that's really ideal. In fact, I'm going to go for the U-turn onto my own Clefairy. Or do I expect the Whimsicott to switch out? The Gengar's going to Protect, I know that. You know what, I expect Whimsicott to switch out. So, I might as well waste a turn here. Yeah, as I expected, it's a Perish Song team, and unfortunately this team doesn't really do well against Perish Song since it's supposed to have some time to set up. However, my opponent's not going to give me that time, with Perish Song being a basically a clock game where you're on a limit Let's see what my opponent will go for. I would probably assume that the Whimsicott is going to switch on to either Kangaskhan, who's probably a non-mega. Wow, he's not even going to protect with Whimsicott. What did he go for? He went for the taunt onto Clefairy. Okay, so maybe he expected me to Earthquake myself, but I'm going to get this free U-turn off onto this Whimsicott, which is really nice. However, my Clefairy, I wish this was my Moonblast variant, because I do not have Moonblast on this or any attacking move. But he's pretty much forced to switch out the Gengar. So I'm gonna Psyshock the Gengar. And I'm forced to basically struggle with Clefairy. And if he switches out Gengar, that will be a big deal for me. I mean, I guess another play he could do is Fake Tears Shadow Ball, which I'm hoping he doesn't have, because that will basically be the game. But I kind of doubt it on this kind of team where you have Parasong. You're probably very bulky, you have some kind of tricks. Probably you got the Disable move, but he can't go for it against the Slowbro right now, because the Slowbro hasn't gone for any moves. He's actually going to stay in with Gengar. Oh boy. But luckily, Slowbro wasn't affected by Parasong, so he's going to Encore, which fails, and go for the Shadow Ball into my Slowbro. Which I'm fine with, because I take that relatively well with Frengar. Struggle's going to happen onto the Gengar, but I wish I Psyshocked that thing instead of... Oh wait, I did go for the Psyshock. What am I thinking? I think I went for the Scald, I said. Oh, but the Gengar lives! Well, I'm probably going to lose Clefairy here, but he's pretty much forced to switch out at this point. So I'm going to Scald the Gengar slot and struggle. He is going to withdraw his Gengar. Let's see who's going to go into Azumarill. Which I have nothing to hit Azumarill effectively. As Landorus is going to come in. Which is fine by me because, you know, I can still switch out and all I have to do is knock out the Gengar really for a win. Clefairy gonna get the struggle off, which is chip damage against Azumarill, I guess, but not really helpful. Scald is going to happen onto the Azumarill, which, if I get a burn, nope. Taunt wears off, but Clefairy is going to faint to the Parasong, which I'm fine with because Clefairy wasn't doing much to begin with. So I'm going to bring out Scrafty here. I really doubt this Azumarill has a form of attack. As I get the Intimidate off, and right here I'm expecting him to try to go for the Parasong and the Landorus to go for the U-turn. So I'm going to Scald and fake out this Azumarill, because I have no reason not to fake out this Azumarill right now. Landorus is going to go for the Protect. Okay, so it's not Choice Scarf, Assault Vest, or Choice Banded. Good to know. Fake out going to occur onto the Azumarill, as it's going to flinch, Scald into Landorus slot. He's probably going to U-turn anyway, so I'm going to Psyshock and Super Fang this Azumarill slot. Yeah. He's probably going to switch out U-turn with his Landorus into, I would probably assume it's going to be Whimsicott who he switches out into. It's not like it's much, and besides, I can always switch out one of my Pokemon because he does not have Gengar on the field right now. And his Gengars have very low HP, so as long as I get rid of that Gengar in one hit, I should be good. Wondering what my opponent will do? I mean, he could switch out his Landorus into the... Well, I don't think he would switch out his Landorus into the Gengar. I'm pretty much assuming he's going to switch out into the Whimsicott, but he's actually going to go for the Rock Slide, so he's going to rely on flinches. This is going to be annoying. Scrafty flinches. Parasong is going to activate. Oh, why? Why are you doing this to me? And Slowbro flinches. I mean, that Super Fang and Psyshock would have done so much damage. Right here, I'm going to switch out my Slowbro into the Landers, get the Intimidate off, and I'm going to knock off this Landers' item. Luckily, I can switch because he does not have the Shadow Tag right now. And the only Pokemon that could really do damage is this Landers, because I really doubt Azumarill has an attacking move. So pretty much I need to keep my Pokemon healthy and alive, while finding some way to get rid of that Gengar and the Whimsicott most likely. If I can get rid of those, it will be checkmate for my opponent. But going to be sending out my Landers, going to get this Intimidate off, which is pretty huge against the Landers. Probably doesn't matter against the Azumarill that doesn't have an attacking move, and it's probably Sap Sipper to begin with. He is going to go for the U-turn out. So let's see, who is he going to send out? If he sends out Gengar, I am in a really, really good spot if he sends out Gengar. No, it's Whimsicott. Okay, I shouldn't have got my hopes up, but still. And I do get the knockoff onto the Azumarill, the Whimsicott, which knocks off the Focus Sash, and the Azuma's going to set up the Light Screen, which is fine by me, because the only attacker I have really is Slowbro right now. As the Perish Song is going to count, and right now I'm going to go for the Rock Slide. And Super Fang the Azumarill. He can't switch out. Well, he can switch out, but he can't switch out to the Gengar because Rock Slide will get that Gengar. And right now it's not a bad position because he has no offensive pressure whatsoever. We saw Light Screen on this Azumarill. I do not know what other move is. We saw Perish Song. It most definitely has Protect. And we saw Light Screen. So it could be Rest. It could be... does Azumarill get Reflect? I don't think it actually does. It might have Rest though. Because I remember running a Perish Trap team like this myself, and it was Rest. And if it's Rest, I'm going to have some big issues, but let's hope it's not. This battle's taking a long time. But then again, when you're playing Perish Song... Okay, he's going to withdraw his Whimsicott. I would assume Landers is coming out. No, Gengar. This might be a misplay for my opponent. He's actually going to withdraw his Azumarill 2 into the Landers. This is a really big momentum. If I hit my Rock Slide, I pretty much guarantee this game, but if I miss Rock Slide connects. And that's going to take out the Gengar. And I'm going to get a Super Fang off onto this Landers, which is really, really ideal right now. Scrap these Perish Song. False one, but now that Gengar's out of the way, I can freely switch out. As Azumarill's going to be coming back in here, but right now I can just go for the Rock Slide and switch out my Scrafty, go into my Slowbro, and I get to reset my Intimidate. So this game is going by really slow, but it's pretty much my way to win this is by knocking out one of these Pokemon, having all three of mine, and he's pretty much forced to Perish Trap. Gonna go into Slowbro. And going to get this Rock Slide off, which I do have chances of flinching myself. As he's going to go for the U-turn into the Slowbro slot. Very smart. But I'm fine with that. We're probably going to see Whimsicott come out. Whimsicott, okay. And the Azumarill probably going to set up another Perish Song. Yep. It's not like I didn't call that one before, but right here it's not so bad because right here, as long as he doesn't go, he might go for the Charm with his Whimsicott, so I'm going to try to Slack Off, and if I'm not able to get the Slack Off, it might be a big issue because my Slowbro will be quite low on HP. But I should be fine. As he's going to withdraw his Azumarill, probably go back into his Landers. Yeah, there's his Landers. Who's at really low health right now. And let's see what the Whimsicott goes for. As it's going to go for the Charm onto my Landers. Perfect. Perfect. I'm going to get some damage off onto these Pokemon. Well, not the Landers. I kind of wish it hit the Landers because every chip damage is pretty crucial right now, as I do get the Slack off. Whew. That Slack off is crucial. Perish Song is going to count to 2. Oh, he could Encore my Slowbro. I'm going to switch out Landers, go into my Scrafty, it gets the Intimidate off, and I'm going to go for the Psyshock onto this Whimsicott. And even if he Encores me, I'll just switch out next turn, so really not big of an issue right now. Landers is going to switch out, go into my Scrafty, which is really nice right now because Scrafty's Intimidate is going to activate, which means Landers' attack is lowered. Oh boy, this is such a long battle, and he is going to Encore my Slowbro into Slack Off, which again, I'm fine with. As he's going to U-turn out. Oh, that's absolutely fine by me, because now Slowbro's at full HP, and it's like I've taken no damage at all. And he's going to go back into his Whimsicott, and this is so good right now, because he's getting very little damage, and the damage I do get with my Slowbro, which is the significant part, I'm just healing back all the health. As Whimsicott's Perish Trap. Oh, he has to switch out Whimsicott. So I'm going to knock off the Whimsicott slot and switch out my Slowbro into my Landers. This game is really ticking down. He is going to withdraw his Whimsicott, go into his Landers as predicted because he cannot risk that Perish Song idea. Which is going to get the Intimidate on my Scrafty, which I pretty sure knockoff should KO at this range. Gonna bring out my Landers here. He's firing out the Intimidate against his own Landers, so if his own Landers decides to attack, it's fine. And I do get the knockoff onto this Landers. Will it KO? Yes, it does, and if he Perish Songs, he screwed himself. And it's Yachi Berry, which makes sense. And there's the Perish Song. I was able to outsmart this team. Oh boy. The Perish Song did fall, and now it's basically all I have to do, keep switching out, and just get rid of the Whimsicott. Getting rid of the Whimsicott. There's the Whimsicott, and all I have to do is get rid of it. There's not much this Azumarill can do. It's really one of those things where if your opponent's able to outsmart you, Perish Song teams like this will fail. I'm gonna knock off and U-turn. I have no reason to Rock Slide. And the match is going to be forfeit. So, really close game there. I thought I was done for when Gengar wasn't knocked out by my Psyshock, but apparently I was able to turn that into my advantage and force him to keep switching out. It's one of the things about Perish Song where if your opponent's able to predict you, is able to switch out, get rid of your Shadow Tag, which is why most Perish Trap teams usually run 2 Shadow Tag users. That one only had 1, and it's really risky because if you lose that Shadow Tag user, you're done for basically. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to give a like if you did. Be sure to hit that subscribe button for more content. Be sure to check out the rest of my videos, check out my social media, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time.